Hey guys, today on JD Cars, we'll be installing this traction control bypass switch on this 2014 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited. So first and foremost, I do want to say that this will work on any and every Jeep Wrangler JK from 2007 to 2017, I believe. We'll be installing a basic momentary switch to interrupt the car's electronic stability control and other traction control systems, as that function has been disabled when in 2 high and 4 high. So let's get this thing in the garage and we'll get going on this install. So we really only need a few things here for this install today. We need, of course, the momentary switch. I picked this one up off of Amazon. It was like $6. You may want an extra piece of wire depending on the placement of your button, some wire cutters and wire strippers, and a Phillips head screwdriver. First thing we'll need to do here is remove the 4-wheel drive knob. I recommend you pull it into the middle position here for high. And you're gonna need to get in the driver's seat and get a very firm grip on this knob. There's no set screw or any fastener holding it on. It is a very firm fit. And if your vehicle is equipped with a 6-speed manual like mine, we're gonna have to do the same thing. Pull up on this and remove it. Alright, after removing our 2 shift knobs, we can now pull up on this central trim here. Get a nice firm grip on coupled area here. You are going to have to manipulate your handbrake here to get this trim out. Removing the gear shift trim will reveal this wiring loom right here, which contains the wire that we're going to be tapping into and interrupting. Just used a box cutter and cut this up a little bit. We can now peel back this protective sheath here, revealing all of our wires. And we're gonna need to do a little bit of digging here. We need to find a purple wire with a light blue stripe. All right, I found it. So as you can see, here's the purple wire with the light blue stripe. Wasn't too hard to find, took about 10 seconds here. Pulled it out and separated it from the rest of the wires. So I'm gonna snip this. We'll check on the dash here and see what lights come on. Hopefully we'll get the ESC off light and hopefully the ABS light as well. All right, moment of truth here. Yeah, let's go. Traction control off and the ABS light there. So that's exactly what we wanted. And I'll now demonstrate that we're interrupting this switch here. As you can see, when I press this switch, nothing happens on the dash. By cutting this wire, we are disabling this switch. However, we do want to have control over the system and we do still want traction control to work when we want it to, which is why we're installing this switch. I'm gonna use our extra piece of wire here and some butt connectors to extend this purple wire with the light blue stripe. We'll extend it out and then take each of the ends and plug them into our momentary switch. All right, we got our purple wire extended out with our 2 green wires here. So we're all good to go lengthwise on our wires. We do need to bring this trim over to the workbench along with our switch here, and we're gonna drill a hole for it. You also want a drill and a 5/8 inch drill bit. I double checked the Amazon page. This is a 5/8 inch diameter button. So I have my 5/8 drill bit on here on my drill. I think I'll drill my hole in this vicinity right here, just behind the gear selector. Down here is a nice spot, but it's under the handbrake, so it's not very easily accessible. And this is just above that wire loom, so I think this is the optimal area to put it. Can install the button here, and yeah, that's the perfect size hole. It's actually threading in. Grab it from the other side, and of course just turn it to the left as we're pulling it through this way. The switch has 2 little screws. We're gonna back these off till that hole is pretty much all the way open. So we're gonna get this into place. We're gonna grab our green wires and feed both of them into the switch. Doesn't matter which one goes on which terminal. Current's gonna travel through it regardless, but it is gonna be difficult to show you this in the car. I'm gonna do my best to do so anyways. To make your life easier, slide both the front seats back all the way. Get your center trim roughly in place here. And as you can see, there's our switch up there. And of course there are green wires. You can get your arm through here pretty easily, and it's pretty easy to see. So I'm gonna get those wires hooked up. Once we've got those wires hooked up, pop this trim back into place here. Grab our transmission shift knob right here. 4-wheel drive shift knob. And that's it, our button is installed. This button's sweet, fully metal as I said, waterproof seal, and has a really solid feel to the button itself. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I messed up with this button. When I just tested it out here, I noticed that this is actually set up backwards. As you can see here, when I turn it on, both lights stay on, which means this switch is breaking the circuit, and it's only a momentary switch, and it only engages the circuit when you press it. If I press this down, and bear with me here, if I hold down the button and let it turn on, then the lights will go away. So our wiring is all good, but as soon as I let go of this button, boom, there go the lights. So essentially it's wired up backwards. So I'm gonna run to the hardware store and find a solution. All right, back from the hardware store, and this is what I came up with. A classic, nice heavy-duty metal toggle switch. I also got a couple rubber washers and one nylon spacer washer just to improve the fitment of the switch here. So again, I'm gonna pull off these two knobs and pop up this center trim here. I'm gonna pull out this beautiful button. Sadly enough, even though it looks great and I love the look and feel of it, it doesn't really do what we need it to. So time to swap it out for something that will work. All right, this new setup looks like it's gonna work out perfectly. So let me give you the rundown here. We're gonna have the switch. I'm gonna grab just a basic metal flat washer, put that on there, feed it through this piece of trim. Then we'll grab this 7/16 inner diameter rubber washer on the right here. It's gonna go right over top of the switch here. Just gonna make a nice watertight seal and eliminate any vibration. Then the on-off indicator plate, and finally, of course, that little nut that comes with the toggle switch here. I am quickly gonna pull this back apart here, and I'm actually gonna hook up the switch to our wires prior to installing the trim here. It can be installed from underneath the piece of trim, which means we can deal with all the wiring beforehand, and we won't have to reach our hands in there and fuss with the wiring. I've just crimped on these basic connectors to our two green wires, and I'll show you how this is gonna work here. We'll back off these Phillips head screws, remove them, and then stick the screw through our connector on our green wire, back into here, screw it down, and tighten it down. It should look something like this when you're done with it. And once it's all wired up like so, we can grab our trim, stick this through with the combination of washers and plates that I showed you before, and then hopefully we'll be all set to go this time. All right guys, new switch, take two here. Let's see what happens. I have it in the on position, which means when I turn on the ignition, we should have all systems on. Nothing should be interrupted here. Let's go. Sweet. That's awesome. All right, so as you can see, all the lights are off, which means all the systems are working perfectly. Now when we switch this in the off position, it'll cut the circuit, which should disable the traction control systems. Here we go. Yep, perfect. Awesome. I honestly like this better than the first one. You just have much more control. You know it's on or off. And yeah, just a good old reliable design here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video demonstrating how to install a Jeep traction control bypass switch to bypass your electronic stability control and ABS. I'm gonna go test this out on the trail and hopefully in some snowy parking lots soon. Comment down below what videos you'd like to see next, and other than that, please leave a like below, subscribe if you've yet to do so, and I'll see you guys next time on JD Cars.